Hey, what's up YouTube? It's me, Alex Combow from Snowbound Apothecary. Today I want to talk to you guys about the art of imprinting and primal urges. So one of the things about being human is that we are imprinted on from the moment that we are a child until the current moment that we are now. So the thing people like to say is that we cannot be imprinted on because we are conscious beings. Now what I'm going to tell you guys is not going to contradict that statement, but it's actually going to take that statement and make it more complete and more whole and give you a better understanding of it. So take this for example. I'm going to give you a fun example. So my cat, every time I go to the kitchen, my cat starts meowing at me and meowing at me. And there's no specific reason why he does this. He just does it, right? It doesn't matter if he has food, if he has water, if he wants to be played with. It doesn't matter. As soon as I step foot in the kitchen, he starts going crazy with his meows. So human beings are we are split into two different states. We have our conscious state and our ego. Our conscious state is our brain, which most of us are aware of, and our ego is our body. Our ego is our primal urges. So our ego is like the animalistic state within ourself. So when we are talking about our primal urges, think about the same thing. So my cat, when I go to the kitchen, he yells at me. For whatever reason, he just yells at me because that's how he's been imprinted on, which was slightly on purpose because, you know, I'm cool with that. But okay, so you turn on the TV and there's a commercial with a burger on it. What do you do as soon as you see this commercial with the burger on it? You start to salivate, you start to crave the burger, you start to think, maybe I am a little hungry. Or beer. You see beer, and then all of a sudden, you're craving beer. You want to go to the liquor store, or donuts, you want to go grab a donut, whatever it is. This is because your body has been imprinted on to see food and know that it is time to eat, because every time you see food, you are about to begin eating. So your body is telling you with these urges that it's time for you to eat something. So basically, your body is primal urges. It is the instincts. It is the result of things that have been imprinted on you in your life. And your mind is the conscious state that is telling you what to do. There is a separation between them, and I want to give you this example because it's the 21st century. Everybody in the 21st century has to multitask. I mean, come on, right? I mean, we have no way around this. You have to type and you have to talk to your coworker at the same time. You have to cook and you're texting while you're cooking. You're flipping patties and texting. You're multitasking. It's because your primal urges, your primal state, is trained to do this task so that you don't have to think about it. So your body is doing something and your brain is preoccupied with something else. The same reason why you could be doing something like data entry and thinking about what's for dinner, or listening to someone speak per se and thinking about what's for lunch. It's because your body and your mind are two separate things. And separating these things out is the reason why most people cannot kick addictions, because they do not have the ability to separate these things. They think that their mind is in complete control 100% of the time, and this is not the case. Our body has been imprinted on by years and years of things going on around us. They say 30 days is all it takes to break a habit. 30 days is all it takes to imprint on yourself stronger than your previous imprintation. But the thing about this is there can sometimes be things that bring the craving back just randomly, and it's because that thing has been wired inside of us to make us want this addiction. For example, if you are a gamer and you turn on your computer, that could automatically make you want to play video games. Or if you are someone that overindulges in eating and you walk into a gas station and you see donuts and you're like, man, maybe I really could go for some sweets today. Even though you haven't had donuts in a month, 2 months, 3 months, you walk into that gas station and you see them and you automatically think, if I see it, I eat it. And that is when you grab it and you eat it, because that's just how you're wired. So the thing that that we need to be able to do to be able to kick addiction, but not only kick addiction, but start to form new solid habits that will stick with us, is to try to re-imprint upon our body or re-imprint upon our ego. Now, people will say the ego is bad. Some people will say the ego is good. I believe that there is a yin and a yang between the ego and the consciousness, and we have to achieve this balance. And once we do, we achieve some sort of state of awesomeness or enlightenment, as people call it, or just happiness, bliss, euphoria. I think that once you achieve this duality, which is a term people hate to use, so I'm probably going to have people turn this video off at this point, but once you achieve this state, then you have the balance between the ego and the consciousness, and you can multitask while better serving your mental state. So, you want to be present as much as possible. This is the key. And being present is what's going to turn off the ego more than anything else. But we still have our primal urges if we're in the present moment. If you're quitting smoking and you're in the present moment, you're not gonna just have zero cravings just because you're present. You still have primal urges in the present moment, and getting these under control is what's going to help you to level yourself up to get even better at creating new habits and sticking to new habits. So how do you re-imprint upon yourself or rewire your primal urges? One of the ways you do this is by going present. Most of the time when you are not present, your body is in control of 90 to 95% of the things going on, and your mind is only in control of 5%. So you think to yourself, I have the willpower to be able to change my mind about doing this, to change my mind about eating this, to change my mind about smoking that cigarette or taking that drink, when in reality, your body has 95% of the control most of the time. So one of the ways that you need to counteract this is you need to tip the scale at certain times. At the key times, you need to tip the scale. So in order to tip the scale, you need to become present in the moment, and you need to say to yourself that this is the new me. Now, there's several different ways that people do this, and I don't believe there's a one-way fix-all type of thing. I believe everybody is different and everybody has different ways that work for them. But a lot of people that you hear on TV or you read their books about, they'll say that their way is the only way, they have the perfect way. When in reality, some people are more conscious of the past, some people are more conscious of the future, and some people honestly are more conscious of the present, naturally. So depending on how you are wired, you need to understand that the three major ways that you can re-imprint upon yourself is, number one, meditation, which is just being mindful of your surroundings, being able to turn your mind off and just be in that meditative state and not really know what's going on. Number two is be present and be consciously thinking about the present moment. Be thinking about things that are around you, thinking about the fact that you are existing in a 3D space. There's nothing 2D around you, even though your mind at times can say this is a 2D thing. Take notice of things that your mind tunes out. Specifically for me, or anybody in glasses, take notice of the rims of your glasses, and that will almost instantly bring you into the present moment. And then you can start to think about the things going on in the present moment, and then notice how your mind almost feels like it's on autopilot. Interesting. Now, the third way you can do this is by being more mindful of the future moment and visualizing. Visualization mixed with meditation are a perfect mix, in my opinion, because visualization covers the future. It says, if I do this for X amount of time, this is where I'm going to be at. And your body does not know the difference between time. It doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future. Your body only understands feelings. So if you are automatically associating a better feeling with something than you have before, then your body will start to associate that feeling with it too. Because the thing is, your mind should be in control of the mass most of the time, but it doesn't always. Most of the time, your body controls it, especially when you're in autopilot mode. So what you need to do is you need to establish the fact that your mind, when it comes into play, is the ultimate power, and it decides where you want to go, what you feel about this, what you feel about that, and it decides what your future is, and it decides what happened to you in the past and how you feel about it. Because you can change the way you feel about things going on in the past. And this is the past element of it. When you get in that meditative state, you can look at these memories that you have in the past and you can twist them around and say, this is not a negative memory. This was actually the way it was because this person was just doing the human thing to do and thinking about his self primarily. Does that mean he's selfish? No, that doesn't mean he's selfish. Does that mean he's a narcissist? No, it doesn't. It just means that he's a human being, and we're all human beings, and most of us think about ourselves first. So now you're starting to reform these memories, these thoughts that you've had in the past, and this starts to change the imprintations that you have. If you have certain people that you don't like because they did this or they did that, then you start to change the feelings about them, and you see them and you notice that you have a different feeling when you see them because your mind and your body automatically, naturally associate this feeling with them rather than the negative feeling with them. So this is kind of a positive example that you can have on your imprintation of your body. So if you start to practice regular memory changing, if you start to practice regular meditation, visualization, and just being mindful of the present moment, then you'll start to notice that you have more control over the habits that you are doing. You have more control over what you're saying, more control over your body movements that you have going on, and you have more control over your mental capacity because your mind starts to become a governing factor. So that means that your mind is starting to actually take part in more of your life. So you have more mental capacity, which means you have more energy because your mind can tell you, I want to have more energy. I don't need to sleep as much as I have been sleeping. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, because your body is starting to change its chemistry, which is what you are trying to do. So I hope this video found you guys well. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, please subscribe to it. If you want to see more content in the future, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. If I went a little too new age hippie on you, let me know. I would love to hear that, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.